Welcome to Hill Talk Sports. I'm the host, TJ Hill. Usually Scott Kennison is with me, but today he is in the basement, not feeling well. So stepping in tonight to help out is our producer extraordinaire, Lewis. Lewis, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
All right, good, good, good. Thanks for stepping in tonight, man. Lewis, for you guys who don't know, is the man that controls everything. He's the man that designed the website. He does the hosting. He does the content, the music, everything. It don't run without him. So this is the foundation of the whole Hill Talk Sports experience. So appreciate your brother helping out with that.
Yeah,
It
glad
was
to
a
be here, man.
dream. You just call me one day. You want to do this? Let's do this, and you just
Yep.
put everything together. I'm
Got
just
some big
talking.
shoes. Got some big shoes to fill with Scott being out, but I'll do my best today.
You be fine. You be fine, especially with this basketball. So tonight we're gonna talk about Super Bowl coming up pretty soon next week. Next Sunday, gonna get into the Cavaliers and what they're doing right now. Big trade happened today. That's gonna hopefully catapult us to the second round or deeper in the playoffs. What else to talk about? Oh man, the lawsuit against the NFL right now, which Flores took a big risk in ending his career, but I got a feeling he's gonna coach again. Maybe not the NFL, but I think he might get a college job somewhere or something of that nature. But he made a huge sacrifice to effect some change out there in the world. And Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan, we'll get into that a little bit too. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I did a little research on it today, and what I found out was kind of disturbing. I like Joe Rogan. I think he's a funny guy. I enjoyed him on Fear Factor, and I like his commentates on UFC. But some of the things he did and said, we're going to dive in that a little bit too, because is Joe really in trouble, or is Joe okay with an apology? There's a lot to dive into on that one. But let's start with the Super Bowl. This Sunday, we have Super Bowl coming up in Los Angeles. The second year in a row that the home team has won the right to play on their home field. Will they repeat and be able to win on their home field, or will Cincinnati and Cool Joe smoke a cigar on that field holding that trophy? I'm still going on my gut. I'm going with Cincinnati. Now I got to
Mm.
look at the injury report and see how their D line is looking. I know they had a lot of guys out defensively when they played in the championship game last week, but they still were able to conquer and win against KC. Um,
I mean, my only thing about that is, Joe Burrow. They're young, right? And
they are
and
young.
when it comes to the big lights on, can he really deliver? Or do some other vets out there? If sometimes just things happen when you're talking about big
Yeah,
games. I'm used to NBA. When the big lights come on, it's like a totally different game.
that's true. It's set up for LA to win this game. You look at the teams in LA. It's like the scary big brother who's been there before and it's back again, and there's no nerves at all. But Cincinnati's playing with so much swagger and playing so calm. They're not. What they have to lose? Nothing.
Yeah, they got
Playing with
nothing
house
to
money.
lose. But hey, LA's been putting these pieces together, and they haven't really played together that long either.
That is true. That is true. Um, they're already talking about next year with LA how they're not going to be able to sign OBJ. They're not going to be able to sign some of the defensive players they have. So they pretty much built this team to win now. So I mean, yeah, if they win, I got no horse in the race. I'm just going by who I think might be able to pull it out. Underdog. I'm going with them right now. LA's favored by 4.5 to win the game. So we'll see what happens. LA was 12-5 during the season. Cincinnati was 10-7. This is the 15th overall meeting between these two teams.
Hmm.
Super Bowl. Last meeting was October 2019. LA won 24-10. So Cincinnati leads the all-time series 8-6 though.
Wow.
So, but they
I have an answer to this whole home game Super Bowl.
mhm.
Just have the Super Bowls in Cleveland.
See. I saw that yesterday. I saw that yesterday. I saw that joke yesterday. And I'm like, that's messed up. But that'll be the one year Cleveland does win that shit.
Right, right.
It's messed up. So, um, for the first time, I don't talk about the Browns. I heard a guy call today about the Browns, and it's like, and the guy in the ring said, "Why are you talking about the Browns right now? Like that's irrelevant. The Cavaliers are hot.
Yeah,
Like the Cavaliers are
yeah.
hot right now. They are, they are
Hey, before you jump to that though,
okay.
I
So,
gotta, I gotta hear what you gotta say about the halftime show, man. Uh oh, uh
see, who is it? Mary J, Snoop,
Got
Dre,
Eminem.
Eminem. So we going back to a '90s rap. We going back to the '90s. I feel that, but why? Why are we doing these artists in particular? Are we trying to appease to a certain crowd?
Well, every year they do that, man.
Do they?
I believe so.
I mean,
I
I think
mean,
it's been
sometimes
country.
I feel
It's
as
been
if that
country and rock lately.
the genres, though, I feel like they're trying to pull in people that normally are not NFL fans. And I think there's actually a crossing here where you're actually crossing some NFL fans that actually those were very popular artists with some of the people. Now, I don't believe that, Prince was a good idea. I don't
No.
think that some of like I even remember when it was like with the Beach Boys. It's like, come on.
Yeah, something like that. No. I could see like Imagine Dragons, something like that. Top country star of that year or whatever, something like that. But you bringing back people from like when I went to prom, basically. You know what I mean? All
Yeah.
those songs that happened back then. So we'll see, man. It should be exciting. It's
I mean,
building
I
up
have
to
to say
be an
though,
exciting thing.
at least some of these players, some of these artists are somewhat still in their prime.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd hate to see, I hate to see some of these older guys that are brought out, and it's just they're just not the same, So at least like with the Eminem and the Snoop and whatever, like they still perform. They're still in the music
Snoop
industry.
is ooh. But Snoop is hilarious right now. I love Snoop. I love watching him outside of rap. I like seeing him in movies, stuff like that, and different shows. Um,
I,
Dre's been really staying back and low key and just making money. Eminem is
yeah,
kind of doing the same thing right now. He's kind of low
he
key,
comes and
not putting a lot of
goes. He
stuff
comes and
out.
goes. Hmm.
Mary's doing, uh, actually, Mary's doing a decent job on Power right now, acting. Um, the first season, she was kind of like, "Ooh, Mary, no, go back to the music, please." But the second
Hmm.
season, they had her on there. She's got a little better, I think, at her acting. So we'll see
Hmm.
where that goes with that. Um, I'm looking forward to Super Bowl in general because I just tired of seeing the same teams go,
Hmm.
and I think it's a fresh thing. It's really shaping to be. This season was great, in my
Yeah,
opinion, of football,
yeah.
especially the playoffs. Every
Hmm.
round was great, close
Yeah.
games, no blowouts. Even Super Bowl. I hope that's not a blowout either. I hope that's a tight game because
Hmm.
you don't want to see a 35-3 game. There's no defense being played. I want to see
Right.
a 35-31 game, something like
Right.
that. Give me a close
Something
game.
entertaining, right?
Yeah, keeps you in there because they back to the Kansas City game. You didn't know who's going to win that game. To
Mhm.
the end, you were like, "What's going on? This is crazy."
Mhm.
Back
Mhm.
and when KC got the toss and the crowd went crazy, like, they think they won the game already, and they didn't win
That
the
was a
game.
crazy game, though. That was
It
super
was
crazy. Like
awesome to watch, though. It
everyone
was,
just knew that
oh
Kansas City was going to come back, and then they had
yes,
two attempts and just couldn't do it. It
man.
was a crazy game. I mean, I would have put money down. Like I just know Kansas City's coming back.
It was a great playoff series, and I really do hope that next Sunday those teams deliver. I really
Hmm.
do. I really do want them to deliver, and I think they will. I think they will. I think LA's gonna start off real hot. It's gonna be emotional damage. That's the name of the show this weekend because it's
Hmm.
a lot of emotions in this whole thing we're talking about today. It's a lot of emotional stuff going on. Um, I think they'll start off hot. They're home. It's LA. They pipe in noise. Wink, wink. Um,
Is it
because
really a home
LA's
game? Because I mean, it's just
LA's
a
not a sports
transitory
crowd.
city.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
really a sports. Miami, if it was New York, it'd be different. New York,
right.
it's a big city, but it's still a sports crazy city. LA, no,
Mhm.
not so much.
Oh, I get it. I
Miami,
mean,
not so much.
I'm now in the DC area. I'll go to
Yeah.
some Wizards games. It's so weird
Oh,
because no one shows up in any Wizards gear everyone's in a polo or just coming off of
Yeah.
work, and it's a kind of a after work thing, and it's so weird because coming from Cleveland, which blue collar, you're behind your team, and you come to this place, and it just no one really cares about the team. They're just there because it's a social event. It's just so weird when you go to these type of sports cities that are like that.
Since you brought it up, the area you're in,
Hmm?
your team's new name. What do you think about that?
I
The
wouldn't say my team.
Commanders. The
I
team,
wouldn't say
the
my
team of the
team.
city you reside near. Here we go.
But I mean, let's be serious though. I mean, the Washington football team, I think, was a joke of a
It
name.
was.
It just sounds like a soccer team.
Yes.
I think that was a waste, and it made me really wonder. I mean, was it just a money grab to get everyone to go out and buy Washington football team stuff, just knowing that then a couple of years they're going to turn around and do it all over again?
Oh, exactly. Always NFL. That's the
Yeah,
shit,
I
baby.
mean, to be honest, I've never. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. I was a DC Defenders fan. I was all on board. New team, new whole new, football league. I got on board, and I hope that they make a comeback.
I just think the memes about Cobra Commander on there are just hilarious. Hilarious. It's unreal. Um, so look, we're gonna jump off football for a minute. Well, wait, first of all, before we do that, let me get your prediction of Super Bowl. I got Cincy. What do you think? You going to
I think
LA?
it's LA. I think it's
LA?
LA.
All
Yeah.
right.
Unfortunately,
Uh,
I think OBJ is going to get that ring and just going.
but is it
Mm.
unfortunate? Is it really unfortunate? Because you look at OBJ, and I heard him today on a conference call. He was getting the media, and Jarvis Landry called in, and their conversation, man, was so. Hmm. It was a good conversation. It made me feel good that two black men could talk to each other without using certain words, and it was a brother to brother conversation about how they battled through college together,
Yeah.
pros, and we really wanted to get to this level. And it wasn't a hateful, oh, you made it and I didn't kind of thing. It
Oh
was,
no,
I'm
no,
so
no. They
proud you
they got
made
that
it.
brotherhood. That man. It doesn't matter what
That more
teams they're on.
people
They're
need
gonna
to
have each other's
have.
back.
More
Yeah.
people need to have that. I mean, he was genuinely, I'm love you. I love that you made this far. Go finish it.
So here's my only thing about that brotherly relationship those two have
Mhm.
is I felt like this year there was times in which that I think that OBJ needed to be told that what he was doing wasn't quite right, and I don't know that Jarvis was doing that.
I don't know them personally, but based on what I've seen of Jarvis Landry, he probably did say that something to him about that. But Odell got to do what Odell got to do. So maybe he was like, "I hear you, but I didn't listen to you."
I hope so. I hope that behind closed doors, he lets him know really that hey, you, need a I don't know. I just feel like both of them, really, honestly, both of them. I felt this year didn't put their whole heart into the season, and
See,
I lost some respect for Jarvis too.
when okay, before Odell Beckham left the team, I had a conversation with my buddies Scott and Brian, and not Brian, but Bob and Jason. We always talk, and I said to them, "There's a problem with OBJ. It's a problem in the locker room. Why? Because when you have a team that talented, look at the talent the Browns have, and they can't gel. There's something wrong in the locker room. I've
Hmm.
coached enough teams. I've coached talented teams where they couldn't do anything on the field. And it's like, why can't these guys get together on the field? Locker room bickering about whatever, this and that. They don't gel together on the field. OBJ left. They said, okay, problem solved. We're good. I said, no, it's one more cancer in the locker room. And they're like, what? I said, number six. They said, man, come on. I said, number six is a problem. Number six has a frat boy mentality still at 25, 26 years old. You're arguing as a pro athlete with the media,
Yeah,
coming down on them. I mean, you clapping hard at them. Oh, stop using me for clickbait, blah, 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 whatever, and feed your kids and all this stuff like that. Look, Joe Thomas was getting interviewed. I think, no, Ross Tucker was getting interviewed. And he said, that was corny. He said, as a pro athlete, you just ignore that and keep playing. You play
you
through
got
it.
to.
You playing through the pain, play through that. So you playing with a torn labrum every game in an NFL game with dudes that's like 600, 300 something pounds coming at you at with 4.9 speed and hitting you, but you can't take when a lady says there's some tension between you and the coach.
I don't know what it is about Cleveland media, but
Man,
they get underneath some players' skin.
because there's so much pressure for Cleveland to win. So the athletes take it really hard when they lose.
It's crazy. I mean, you have players that have played in New York, played in LA, and they get to Cleveland and they can't stand. I mean, I get it. I can't stand
It's a lot of
the
pressure.
Cleveland local media, sports media, but oh my God, they get under their skin
It's
bad.
pressure. It's pressure everywhere, but especially here because you've had a team that was so rich. The Browns were so rich in history back in the 50s and 60s and
Mhm.
in the 70s and in the mid 80s where they were good. I mean, I
And they have
remember.
that fan level that no matter
Yeah,
if we lose or win, you got that core that's behind them.
exactly. And here's the problem with the Browns right now. They have the window. The opportunity is there for them to strike, but they're going to spoil it because is Baker the guy to get us there? And I can't say yes or no right now. I need him to play healthy next year to understand and know if he's that guy. And I'll be able to tell by week three. Week three, I'll be able to tell you.
The question is, can we get the guy? I mean, like, who is the guy? That's always the thing. Is we always make the wrong decisions to get the wrong quarterback. Maybe we did. Maybe we had some real gems, but maybe we didn't have the offensive line to really protect them, and they got hurt and
The
never played
guys,
again in the NFL.
the guys in Buffalo playing right now. Sorry,
Yeah.
the guy. You put him with this roster. OBJ doesn't get traded. He wants to stay.
Hmm.
Probably never know for sure. I'm going by. I'm just going by my thinking. If you get that
Yeah.
guy here instead of Baker, OBJ still staying. We probably playing Sunday
I
with the
don't know.
roster we had. If everybody healthy with that guy, we probably playing this Sunday instead of Cincinnati. Just saying because you're looking at our division right now. Lamar's not going nowhere. They're going
Yeah.
to heal up from last year. They had a lot of injuries last year. They're going to heal up, so they right back where they started, and they still were dangerous with their injuries. So imagine them healthy. Then
What?
you
What do you?
got
Go
you
ahead.
got Pittsburgh,
Hmm.
who's going to get another quarterback. Rumor is it's going to be Aaron if you want to leave Green Bay. That's a problem. That's a problem too. Even for 2 years, that's still be a problem. Um, there's a number of other quarterbacks that can go there and play there
Now,
right now.
what do you think about this? The Browns somehow, some way, get a vet quarterback and then get a young rookie to I mean actually have a vet quarterback that we're only going to give a 2-year commitment to, and actually someone that's holding that clipboard and learning the reins, and we actually bring in a quarterback like they used to back in the day, and
Let them sit and learn.
yeah,
But it's contingent on who that vet quarterback will be. That's
right,
the issue. And
right.
and you hear a lot of names out there right now. Of course, Russell Wilson was mentioned, but he ain't coming here. Aaron Rodgers, he said it on the podcast. He ain't coming here. Who else is that? Well, you got Mr. Watson with the legal issues. That's actually coming into head in February for the
Hmm.
draft. So it's very interesting how that's all playing out. It's court date in February, then the draft in March. So we're going to see if they do some trading back here. That might be a look for the Browns.
Yeah, yeah.
Might be a look for the Browns. One rumor was Garoppolo's coming here and Beckham going to Pittsburgh. Revenge. I want to go to Pittsburgh because I'm gonna beat you and this and that. Now, if he
Mm.
does that and gets all of a sudden good, I'm gonna be really pissed.
I know, I
But
know.
that's the way things happen in Cleveland all the time.
Yeah,
We know that. Speaking of Cleveland, and this good news in Cleveland. Let's talk about the Cavs for a minute here.
yep.
Cavaliers are, I believe, they're 32-21. This is the most wins I think they had since LeBron left.
You're what, one and
Um,
a half games back on the East.
yeah, they right there, man. They at some. I'm gonna go on a limb and say this. Now they may not finish it this way, but at some point this season, the Cavs will be in first place.
Hmm.
I see it happening. I'm gonna screenshot it when it happens.
Yeah. I mean,
Because
it's all happening right around this All-Star game, and hopefully,
exactly.
we turn around the and start the second half strong. Hopefully, we don't, kind of fuzz out during this turn, and hopefully we get some wins. I mean, also, this we're a couple days. I think the 10th is the end of the trade deadline, so it's going to be
Yes,
interesting how many more trades are going to happen this year.
we are the fourth seed, 33-21. Yep. Oh, no, we are game. Oh my God, we're a game out of first place. Not
Oh, we're a
even a half
game
a
out of
game.
first place.
We are,
Okay.
according to this, we are a game out of first place. Miami is sitting at 34-20. Yeah. So really one game behind them. Yeah. If Miami loses today, yeah, looking
Yeah.
good. I
Yeah.
mean, who would have thought? Who would have thought a LeBron Jamesless Cavaliers team would be the fourth seed right now, one game out of first place towards the All Star break, and the Lakers are the eighth seed, looking at a play in right now at 27-28.
I've been hearing a lot of rumors about LA and breaking it up and trade LeBron and all this other stuff. It's interesting.
Rumor is LeBron wants to come back.
Yeah.
Uh, some people say yeah they want him. Some people say they don't want him. I particularly don't want him. I think I like what they're doing. I like how they use the Golden State model and just drafted players and just groomed them and let them grow. I like that. And other
I'll
people
call it the
say,
San Antonio model. I wouldn't say the
okay, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right. And some people want to sit there and say that if LeBron comes back, that he can just take this another level. But who are you giving up for him? The Cavaliers are able to do a great trade today
Yeah.
without giving up one single player on the roster.
Yeah, they gave up one.
But he's injured. So
True.
he ain't contributing right now. So he can go bye bye. Go to Indiana. Bye bye. They probably gonna get rid of him anyway.
No,
I'm just
I
saying.
have to say though, oh goodness, what's his name? His name is
From Rubio, right?
yeah, Ricky Rubio.
Yeah.
I enjoy Ricky Rubio. I really
Yeah.
do. I mean, and it was funny enough. I think I was watching some of the international basketball, and I was watching Spain play right before the trade for him. And literally, while I'm watching the game, I'm like, I forgot about Ricky Rubio. He's on fire. And then
Yes.
all of a sudden, they're like, Oh, there's Ricky Rubio. He just a couple minutes ago just got traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm like, holy crap!
It
And
was interesting to
he
watch.
yeah, I mean, I love his fire. I mean, there's times where uh, he's a little bit too fast for his
Yeah.
own good. But I think that he gave us a little bit of a spark at the beginning of the year that we really
Yeah.
needed.
Exactly about to
I
say the same thing.
I think though, as some of our other guards kind of stepped up. I think that he got injured, and it was less of an impact on us, but we still needed another wing player, and so that's why we had to make some type of move to get a new player, getting Levert in, and hopefully he'll be a good fit for the Cavaliers.
They're singing his praises, man. They're saying this guy's the legit piece who we're missing. So we're gonna
It's
see.
good. We'll see. I mean, the real question is how fast can he fit in the system? How fast can,
Yes.
uh, you know, he be impactful? We don't need him to carry the whole team.
No,
It's
no,
just
we
a
got that.
matter of. I mean, we had Jetty running the point the other day.
That's wild. That's
Yeah,
wild.
and I mean, I'd have to say, and I don't know if you caught some of the game. I don't know if it was yesterday. It was right before the trade, and Indiana had to pull Levert off because we were actually about to play them, and we
Yes.
fell down by 30 points early in the game, and somehow, some way, clawed back. We had Kevin Love. We had a lot of players come and bring us back from 30 behind, and end up winning that game. It was a wild game.
They are they are man, they're a fun team to watch. They're separating themselves from everybody else. I mean, you got the top five teams here. The top five teams are Philadelphia, Cleveland, Milwaukee, Chicago, and the Bulls, and they are separated by 1.5 to 1.5 Philadelphia. One is Cavaliers, and you got the Bulls and the Bucks are like half a game out of first place. So it's real tight in
Yeah,
the East right now. And then
yeah,
Toronto's falling down to 4.5 out. So I mean, as
and
long
I
as the
think.
Cavs stay in that 4 to 5 range, I'm happy.
Yeah, and I mean, you also got to keep in mind that Darius Garland's been out. I'm not sure
Yes,
what his injury is,
it's back.
but once he gets back in, after his turn, he'll come back and kind of gives that spark off the bench. Jarrett Allen, oh my goodness, he's been on fire, and I think that him getting snubbed for the All Star game just put a little bit more fire under him.
Yeah,
He had an awesome game the other day.
yeah, they're dangerous, man. Nobody wants to play them right now.
I
Everybody's
mean,
looking at them like, here they come.
I've been hearing a whole lot of talk about or the ball. What is the one uh, ball brother that got
Oh,
into the
Laurent Laurent, no. Yeah, I know you're talking about the
yeah
ball.
yeah 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 he got All Star slot and got it over Allen. That's just ridiculous. I don't know. I don't know
That's
what they're thinking
politics in
about.
sports. You know that. I mean, it's
Yeah, yeah.
crazy. I mean, the Cavaliers play San Antonio next. Then they play at Indiana. So it's gonna be interesting for him to go back to his old team and play them right away. But
I believe this was the first. I believe it was the first Indiana game, so we're playing Indiana pretty late in the season. I think we've got like maybe 3 more games with them, maybe 4.
let's see. According to this, we have them 2 more times. February 11th at Indiana, and then I don't say Indiana. What am I saying that for? And then we got a March 8th again, and that's it for until whenever. Ooh,
Yeah.
we got the Lakers coming up though. Here,
Hmm.
that's gonna be
Interesting.
interesting. That's gonna
Interesting.
be interesting. We played them yet? The Lakers? We should have played them already, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
I think we played them earlier in the year, and they beat us. Yeah, they beat us 113-101. Mobley had 23 points. Allen had 9. Garland had 11. We'll be all right.
So
But it's
speaking of LeBron,
yes. Talk about
when's
LeBron.
when's when's Bronny? Uh, when's he gonna be NBA eligible?
I believe Bronny is just a junior in high school right now,
Is he?
so I think he has 2 more years.
Okay.
I believe
Okay.
he's a junior in high school right now.
Because I mean, that's always the rumor I've heard is when Bronny makes it in the NBA, he wants to play with them, and I'd be interested to see if the Cavaliers actually, number one, where's he going to be in the draft, and then if the Cavaliers do get him, LeBron's going to make some way to be on the roster.
See, he's a big boy. Wow. Well, he's 17 years old. He's 6'2", 180. He's a big kid. I don't
Hmm.
think he'll be his daddy's height though. I don't think it'll be his dad's height. I mean, he's 17 and 6'2". How much more you got to go? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? LeBron was already pretty much 6'8" when he was 17 years old, so they could be a little bit shorter. Uh, I'm not sure. So the rule is you still got to do 1 year of college, right?
Right.
Right now, but I think they're trying to change that
Yeah.
before he gets out. So we'll see if that happens or not. Let's see. Trying to see what grade he's in right now. He is. That can't be right. If that's current, that's crazy because it says he's a sophomore, which is crazy. 17-year-old sophomore. Don't know about that.
And you got to keep in mind, he could probably go to summer school and finish out high school a little faster.
That is true too. Um, but then again, the moving back and forth probably got him, whatever that happened. We'll see. I mean, originally he's supposed to go to his St. Mary, like his dad did, but they wound up going to L.A., so that changed all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I think the other one is like 5'10". Bryce, I think his name is, the younger kid.
Bryce. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, man. I mean, I do believe this kid might go somewhere and play, but I think he's going to have to do a year of college first.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Definitely.
isn't he playing with Dwayne Wade's kid too?
I think he is. I think they're in the same. I think they're on the same team.
Yeah.
But have you seen him play though?
Just little snippets here and there.
He's not bad.
Yeah.
He's not
Yeah.
bad. He's a little. I hate to. I don't want to say he's more explosive, but he's very explosive. You get boom. You got another gear. You can just go. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
And him being 6'2", 6'3", when he comes out may not be a bad thing for him.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because he can shoot a little bit too, and he can dunk.
Yeah. He can shoot.
So, but
Shoot
he's
much better than his father does
but
or did.
180. That's a good. That's some good weight for that kid.
Yeah.
That's
Oh yeah.
solid.
He seems like he's bigger than LeBron was. LeBron was a twig when he came
Yeah,
on the
he
scene.
at this level, I think he is got a sturdier build than LeBron does.
Yeah.
But then you got to also incorporate that LeBron showing him how to work out. So
True.
LeBron's passing all that knowledge to
Put
him.
some muscle on
So
him. He
could
has the
he
expertise. Absolutely. He got the money. He's got the ability, the resources to give him much more
exactly?
than what he had.
So you might look at it down the road where Bronny might be better than his dad.
I think he may be more well-rounded.
That could be it. Yeah, we'll see. LeBron is a beast, though. I mean, I think he's about to. Did he already take the scoring title yet?
I'm not sure.
He's very close to it. I know he was like only a few points away from hitting the scoring title from Kareem, which I didn't think he was even anywhere close to that. Where'd that come from? Like he just jumped out of nowhere and just took over that. It's crazy.
Hmm.
Let's see. Scoring title NBA. Don't see it in here. Look at that.
LeBron's number 3. You've got LeBron at 36,443. You got Karl Malone still number 2 at 36,928, and you got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at 38,387.
So he's far away.
He's still far away. He's got another 2,000 more points to go.
Wow, I see something that said he was almost there. Interesting.
He's almost over Karl Malone.
Ah, okay. That makes sense now. That makes sense. So, I mean, Cavaliers are 32-21. Do you see them winning 50 games?
I think it's possible. I think it's possible.
I do too.
Yeah, I think that a lot of teams underestimated them, but I think that if they stay with their defense that they've had, I mean they're rated one of the top defenses. If they keep a defensive minded team, I think they can do well. I mean, you have times in which that the offense get a little stagnant and they have a hard time get going, but once they get going, they're hot. I mean, that's exactly what happened yesterday. You know, it seemed like there was a lid on top of the hoop. They just every time they shot, just bricked. But you know, second half of the game, all of a sudden stuff started going down, and you know, it was all about defensive stops. Once again, Jarrett Allen, you know, it's just defense.
So you got 28 games to go. 28 games to go.
Wow.
I don't think they're losing 10 games.
No.
Yeah. I don't think they're losing 10 games. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. I don't see the Cavs will not lose 10 more games with 28 games to go.
Okay.
So we'll see. And I think that might put them at 50. Well, Matthew may be off, but I think that's close to not a mathematician here. But, you know, we'll see what happens. So since this is called emotional damage, speaking of damages, Brian Flores, Miami Dolphins former head coach, has sued the NFL, 3 other teams, citing it was about hiring practices, the Rooney Rule, and racial discrimination. Text message to him and Bill Belichick, and they were talking about congratulations, you got the job. I think it was the Giants, and he wound up texting them back saying, "Are you talking about Bill? What's his name? I think it's Debo. Brian. He used to be in Cleveland. I forgot his name, but it doesn't matter. He sucked anyway in Cleveland. He goes suck in New York. But anyways, you got the wrong Brian. He said, "Oh, I messed this up. I effed this up or whatever, and I got the wrong guy." Okay, so you talking about Bill Belichick?
Dabo, right?
Dabo, yes. You got Bill Belichick, who's one of the greatest minds in football, and you telling me you don't know who you were sexing, Bill? I mean, it's possible. We're getting older, maybe.
Or you got the wrong intel. I don't know.
It could be it too, you know. But I get it. I get what he's doing because they are hiring people without following the rules that were put into place. And the Rooney Rule states you got to have a minority candidate interviewed before you make your final decision to hire somebody. And they didn't do that. Supposedly, New York didn't do that. So I don't know why Denver's involved in this suit. I didn't check that out. Why Denver may be involved in this too. But John Elway's heated, and I hate John Elway. So anytime you can screw Denver, please do. I still hate John Elway till this day. Every time he smiles, I think about a horse, Mr. Ed. I can't stand you. I want your
every time
franchise.
I see his face, I just think of my parents going, Wilbur.
As long as he's in the front office at Denver, I will never root for Denver to win any kind of games ever. If Pittsburgh play in Denver, I will root for Pittsburgh first. That's how much I hate John Elway through his soul.
It's deep.
Seriously, It's deep. You cost me my childhood, my dude. I cost Super Bowls when I was a kid. I hate you. Go away. Like, go somewhere. I hate you. I mean, the Browns beat them a couple years ago, and I rejoiced like it was Super Bowl. It was years after they beat us, and I was like, yes, we beat Denver. Yes. I was going crazy because it was like, I hate you, John. You suck. You hurt me. Hurt my feelings when I was a kid, man. I made me cry. I was peeling off Browns posters off the wall when I was a kid, crying like John Elway did it again with those big teeth. But but okay, so I understand people are maybe upset that he's doing this. Um, I get why he's doing it because he really did just sacrifice his NFL coaching career because he would not get hired as a coach. You can't take on the Shield, dude, and think you'll get a job within the Shield again. That's a wrap. He's done.
Mhm.
College may be there for him down the road. Um, you might get a talk show or something out of that, but the NFL is now trying to scramble and do different things to address the situation, but it's too late now. You put a rule into effect years ago to give people a chance. We didn't say you had to hire nobody, but give them an interview at least. Bring them in. They might like
Right.
what you hear. They might
Yeah.
sell it, you know? Um, so now I believe you have two NFL coaches that are black now because they hired Lovie Smith today in
Mm.
Houston. So that's Tomlin and Smith. Well, you had more before at one point. You had like three or
Yeah.
four before at one point. Now they just trickled out, and it's a lot. It's a lot going on. You know, it's alive and well, the R word, but it's to the point now where you kind of like my dad used to make a comment about somebody messaged you like be a duck in water. What does that mean? He said, "Have you ever seen a duck wet? What does the water do? It just rolls right off. Be that. You got stuff coming at you, let it bounce off of you and keep moving. The duck go down when it's raining outside. The duck still swimming in the stream. His feet are wet, but his body just bouncing right off.
Mhm.
Let it bounce off of you. Yeah, we know there's a lot of stuff going on. Injustice here, injustice there. It's everywhere you go. But what can you really do about it as an individual? You need to group together to fight something like that. And the thing is, people are scared to come together and fight things like that.
I don't know what the answer is though, right? So, I mean, obviously the black coaches that were fired, I don't think any of them were unjustly fired. Like if they were successful,
Except for
then they should have
Flores, I think.
stayed.
I think Flores. I think Flores was let go because basically he was insubordinate to what the owner wanted. And I think the owner wanted some stuff that was probably not ethically correct. I think that's why he got let go. That's what I heard snippets about why he got let go. Because when he did get let go, everybody in the league was like, "What? Dude won 7 in a row for a team that should
Mhm.
have won 2 games. Like, why are you firing him? It made no sense. The firing didn't make any sense at the time. Now we
Right.
see more and more stuff coming out. That's why I kind of said sometimes when we do the show, I said let it cook for a week. Let's see what storylines come up. You know what I mean? Let's see what happens next because when a story breaks, if you give it a week, there's always some more details to it later on. Like, oh, that happened. Even with stuff that happens in the shootings and all the stuff that goes on and the fightings, and a week later you're like, well, this happened and that led to this, and you're like, oh, okay. How many times have friends got mad about shootings and then a week later they find out, oh, dude did have a gun or he had a knife or he was doing
Mhm.
this, doing that. He was trying to do this, trying to do that. And it's like, oh, we got mad about that and we really went off, but he was in the wrong.
Right.
So you gotta sometimes let stuff simmer for a minute to see what
Yeah.
details come out.
I haven't done too much into the Brian Flores to understand his past. It's
Mm-hmm.
just I'm not so quick to jump to the R, you know, and
Yeah.
so I look at okay, what other things are out there? I mean, is there a problem, a breakdown in which that maybe black coaches are not getting the proper experience that they need to? It. I don't know. I don't know the answer, but I'm not so quick to jump to the R word. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and that's the thing I see. It's a trend going on right now, and I've seen it at my job where that's being used so widely right now for things that are not.
Right.
So automatically, oh yeah, you're racist, and it's like I didn't do anything. Why are you calling me that?
Right.
And it's like when something does happen that's racist and full of injustice, it's like the boy crying wolf now.
Exactly.
Because now,
It's overused
well,
already.
yeah, you already said that, but he didn't do it. Like,
Right.
stop doing that. If it's
Yeah.
really something that's really happening like that, please call him out on that. But if
Right.
it's something that you just agree with him or something like that, or why do you keep doing that?
And
Like,
I mean, if there's a trend of, if there's obviously less black coaches than there was, and there's a peak, and then now is a little bit of a lull.
yeah,
And once again, I mean, it doesn't necessarily just because there's less black coaches doesn't mean it's strictly due to because they were black, and that's why I was like, there may be I don't think it's causation necessarily, but
yeah,
there may be some type of something that's our black coaches tend to be more of prior players, and being a player has a different background or different view, and maybe they're better at coordinators than being a head coach. I don't know. It just there has to be. I don't know the answer, but I don't know what the answer
we
is.
don't know the ins and outs. We go by what the media tells us, and we
Right.
can read between
I
lines
mean,
on that and base our own
yeah,
assumptions off of that. But we really never know. Um, all we're doing is assuming. Like this guy earlier today called in the radio station I listened to after they played the Jarvis Landry thing with Odell, and it was just two guys talking about, "I'm proud of you." That's all it was.
yeah,
Like, you get promotion at work, and Lewis, man, I'm so proud of you. Got the promotion, man. Go for it,
yeah.
man. Get all of it. And he's like, yeah, read between the lines on that. They were saying a lot of stuff in there, and the call, he hung up on him. He was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah,
Like,
no.
it was two. The
They were
radio host,
roommates. They were
best thing he ever did. The radio host was like, "No, dude, we're not doing that today." Hung up on him. It was
yeah,
like there was two guys talking about congratulations. There was nothing read between the lines on that. He
yeah.
tried to throw Baker in there, and he didn't mention Baker.
No.
He literally said, "Congratulations, go get the ring."
Yeah.
Nothing
Someone
about the
trying to cause a little
Browns.
bit of rift there. I mean,
And that's
yeah,
what the media does. But it
yeah.
was a fan calling instead of the media this
It
time.
sells.
But the media
That's
finally
why.
was like, stop it. We're not doing that
Yeah,
today. So
yeah.
I mean, so this guy's done coaching. We already know that. Um, the NFL is scrambling right now to try to repair the damage. But it's already done. The coaching vacancy has been filled right now. So what can you really do going forward to fix the situation? Because it's done. And you
You
got
know, it'd be interesting. Someone hire him as general manager and have him fix it.
that's fire. That's fire.
You say you got a problem here. There's a problem.
That's fire.
Put you in a position. You fix it. You
That's
find
fire.
find the solution.
Yeah, that's fire. And they were talking about that on the radio. They were like about the owners. I don't see. Show me the racism. Not saying it's not there. You
Right.
got 32 billionaire dudes that are over 60. Chances are somebody in that group
Maybe.
don't like
But the
people
thing
because
is,
they
you don't
color.
think they want to win?
Yeah, they want the money.
Well, they want to
Do they care
win, and the
about the winning?
winning brings more money, right?
That's true.
And so the issue is that if a individual is going to give you more wins, no
Doesn't matter
matter
what they
what
color.
color they are,
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going to do it.
Look at Pittsburgh, man. I hate to use this Pittsburgh as an example, but you, as Cleveland Browns fans, we are born and bred to hate Pittsburgh.
Hmm.
That's facts. But being realistic, they're probably one of the most respected teams that I respect out of all the teams in the league. One, they're the only team that voted to keep Cleveland in Cleveland when Art Modell took them to Baltimore. Two, they're the ones that started the Rooney Rule in the first place.
Hmm.
And three, in both our lifetimes, they only have three coaches.
Yeah,
That's a stable organization.
yeah.
And they'll be down this year, depending on who they get a quarterback. If they get somebody in free agency or whatever, they'll be right back where they were at last year,
Hmm.
which is amazing how they got a broken down Ben in the playoffs. But they had a little help. But still, they made it to the playoffs and we didn't.
Yeah,
And on paper, we're supposed to be playing next Sunday. So that tells you everything. Paper
right.
don't mean crap.
They
It's
don't.
what you do on the field.
It is.
And the media hypes us up so much that we get let down. And it's like, oh, but
Yeah,
the
we got the
Browns,
battered syndrome. I
but the
mean, I
Browns.
never. A lot of people come to me. Oh, the Brown. I mean, living in DC now. Oh, the Cleveland Browns. They sound great. What do you think? What do you think? You think you're going to the playoffs? I go, yeah, we'll see. And they always go, you're not hyped about it. Look, how many years I've been a Cleveland Browns fan. I'm happy that they seem to be good on paper. I'm happy when they're winning games, but that doesn't mean I'm all I'm thinking they're going to the Super Bowl. Trust me, DC, that's how they are. the Washington football team, when they were the Redskins, everything else, they'd win,
The
all the
Commanders are
games.
here.
Yeah, the Commanders, they'd win
Commanders.
all of the preseason games, and all of a sudden over here they're like, we're going to the Super Bowl. I'm like,
Mm,
come on now.
yes. It's happened here too. It's happened here too. They do it all the time here. Man, the Browns were 4-0, man. Then they wound up going 0-4 in the regular season. It's like, what happened? Like, what happened? Those are real games now, my dude.
Right,
It's
right,
not a
right,
practice squad playing anymore. It's real stuff going on.
right.
Real quick, back to football, real quick. Just 1 second. We'll do a shout out to Clay Johnson, number 44. I coached him in middle school, 8th grade, and he's playing for a ring. Um, second year in the league, got drafted by the Rams. So he has a chance to go back to LA and get a ring in the house he got drafted in, which I hope he does. That'd be great for him to do that. Great kid, great family. Just want to give him a shout out real quick, and I hope you pull it through on Sunday, buddy. So
Yeah.
real
Good luck.
fast before we close out. Speaking of emotional damage, Joe Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Have you heard the whole controversy about Joe Rogan right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I got from it. Maybe you could fill in the blanks that I have. So Joe Rogan on Spotify, um, huge contract with them for
Mm-hmm.
podcasting, $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
They've taken down some of his podcasts. I think at last count it was 70 podcasts took down
Mm-hmm.
because I guess over a course of years, he was dropping the N bomb on the podcast. What context he used in, I do not know. I didn't hear him say it. Apparently, it is true he said it because I like hearing things for myself. When somebody says something, I hear for myself. But he apologized for saying it. Um, Made a comment about going to the movies and the theater was a black neighborhood, so he and Planet of the Apes. That's ouch, Joe. Come on, buddy. I know you're making a joke, but Jesus, Joe, that's just whoo. It's 2022, dude. You can't say that shit no more. You can't. This ain't Archie Bunker.
The
This
thing
ain't.
I
This is the
find funny is
Jeffersons.
it's nothing that was recent, right? And so why now?
Well, you know why now.
You know why now.
Yeah, because he's speaking out against vaccinations. They want to shut him down. They couldn't shut him down with vaccinations, so they found another reason to shut him down. This is
And
why.
I think that
You
they get
had
him
this
wrong on
ammo.
that. He's not anti-vaccine. He just asks questions
Yeah.
about certain things that people take for granted because certain people say things and people take it for granted instead of asking questions, and that's all in good example. You and I went to school. We learned the scientific method that you question everything, and I think he's a good he's a good host of podcasts because he likes asking questions, right? And a lot of
Yes.
times it's not him necessarily spouting off what he thinks. He asks questions, and he has asked questions that a lot of people are thinking but are too afraid to ask. And I think that there is a campaign against him because they don't like the questions that he asks.
So here's the thing. We are mad at Joe Rogan for saying that word.
Mhm.
No one should say that word, no matter what color you are. That's my thoughts.
Me too.
Um, yeah, you hear a song, you say it in a song, something like that, whatever. That happens. Um,
Not that it's
he,
right,
yeah, not
but
that's right,
he's
but it
a
happens.
comedian, and they tend to push the envelope a lot, and that's not an excuse for him. But you got to keep in mind that he is a comedian on the road, and they like to push the envelope, and that's what they do.
Why are we bashing him? Well, we know why because he
Hmm.
he did he spoke out against the powers that be, so they couldn't make him quiet because I believe if I'm not wrong, while he was making his comments about the vaccination, his podcasts were not being removed. But once this came out, they started moving his podcasts, hitting it in the pockets. Oh, you won't shut up about that, so we're gonna hurt you no way. We got this. We got this bullet in the chamber about you saying the N word. We're gonna use it right now. So now they used
Yeah,
it, and
yeah,
that's what
it's a
happened.
campaign. And after
Absolutely.
they've already tried I want to pull my music off of Spotify if they're not gonna censor him or kick him off. I mean, I find it funny that you had artists that were saying that they were going to pull their music off when they don't even own their own catalog.
Okay, so let's. Hmm, I'm not saying Joe was right. I'm not defending
Hmm.
Joe. Joe said what he said.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
a lot of them said it.
Hmm.
We ain't heard about it yet. A lot of them said it. I'm sure Biden said it. I'm sure Trump said it. We ain't got him on
Hmm.
tape yet.
Hmm.
So why are we not? Why is Jimmy Kimmel on TV? Why is Jimmy Fallon on TV? Why is Ted Danson on TV?
Jimmy Kimball, you mean the guy that did blackface on TV?
I'm naming all of them. Why is Kylie Jenner on TV?
Hmm.
Why is who else we got? Julian Huff on TV. Can we keep going here? Let's see. Paula Dean. Who else? Tom Hanks. Hmm. Ted Danson. That's him already. And you dated Whoopi Goldberg. By the way.
What is
So
the Canadian Prime Minister who also did blackface?
yeah, him. What about Iron Man?
Trudeau.
What about Iron Man?
Yeah,
Tropical Thunder.
tropical. Yeah.
So we still celebrating these people, and they did, which is probably one of the most, I don't know, egregious things you could do to black culture is sit there and just make fun of them like that because of all the painful history behind blackface. But then the part that gets me is the ignorance after the fact. I apologize. I know better now. Where I work at, it's predominantly white people.
Hmm.
I've never heard that word in my job.
Well, I
I've heard some.
apologize.
No, from
Oh,
the
oh, oh, the yeah.
from a white person, never heard that word come out their mouth.
Hmm.
So my thing is, if kids know better, how are adults in entertainment not knowing better? The apology to me sucks because the apology is, I know I shouldn't have done. I know now that I
Yeah,
should. No, you knew before. You didn't care, and that's fine, dude. If you don't care, that's on you. But understand, in the world of entertainment, when you say something like that, it's coming back to bite you in the ass. So you
yeah,
got to deal with that.
and I think that we need to let that work its way out. I'm sick of the cancel culture in which that if you don't accept the apology of Joe Rogan, don't listen to Joe Rogan.
That's it. That's just. It is literally that simple.
Yeah.
But to sit there and mm, mm, mm. So let's get on our rappers too then, because they the ones that say it the
Mhm.
most.
Mhm.
So what about them?
Yeah.
Oh, we can say it. Why? Why can't you
No.
say it?
No.
Because we black. So that's what you are. No, I ain't
Yeah,
saying that.
I've been hearing that all the time of hard R versus non-hard R. I'm sorry, there's no
Tomato,
difference.
tomato, bro. I feel like
Yeah.
that. Tomato, tomato. I had a kid say it at school a couple weeks ago. Pull him to the corner. Say tomato. He's like, what? I said, say the word tomato. He was like, tomato. I said, say tomato. I said, tomato. What's the difference between the two? What is it? What are you saying? They're the same thing. And I'm like this. Hmm. He was like, oh. The light went off in his head like boom. I'm like,
Mhm.
how old are you? How you not know this?
Mhm.
Because you hear it in your songs, you hear it at home, you hear it wherever, hear it with your friends, so you're comfortable saying it.
Mhm.
But if
Mhm.
somebody with a lighter skin tone say it, let's fight.
Yeah. I
Why?
mean, it's culture's so funny. Even in our lifetime, do you remember when it was wrong to call someone black?
Yeah.
It was African American. Now all of a sudden we're back to black. It's culture's weird.
So I kind of feel that a little bit because I saw this podcast. You know Mike Rashad is right.
No.
He's a boxer, power lifter. He does a lot of stuff. He got his own brand of protein shake out there. It's really good stuff. And he does a podcast too, and he was on the podcast talking to his co-host. His co-host is from Iran, I believe. So it's a
Okay.
really kind of it's a diverse podcast because you're dealing with the hood and you're dealing with another country that got stuff going on that made the hood look like Mayberry. So yeah, seriously, the stories he was telling, I was like, Compton seems safe compared to that. Oh my god.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
these dudes were talking. He was like, why not African American? And he said, this is how I'm gonna break it down. And we broke it down. I kind of was like, okay, I get what you're saying. He said we're the only people on the earth that's got this complex right here. So if my friend is Italian, He Italian American, right?
Mhm.
I got a German friend that's German American.
Mhm.
I got an Irish friend that's Irish American. Where
Mhm.
are they from? One from Italy, one's from Germany, one's from Ireland. So I got an African American friend. Yeah, he's from Africa.
From
But what
the
country he
continent.
from?
Yeah.
What country he from? Dude was like, and his co-host was like, huh? But Africa, he said, Africa continent. So what country are you
Yeah.
from? He
Yeah.
said, there's no identity there. With African Americans, no identity there. So
Yeah.
I kind of get what he's saying. When you break it down like that, I see what he's saying because we the only ones that don't have that identity. The only people that don't have that identity to be like, there was this and that. So the only way to say that is if you do the DNA thing and see where you're from. Like I did my DNA thing and it was said most of my percentage was from Nigeria. So I can say I'm
Right.
Nigerian American, whatever.
Right.
But still, there's no identity because when they came over here, it got taken away. So there's no, because I hate when you see a black girl at the club, like they trying to steal our white girl dancing. They trying to steal our culture. We don't really have one though.
Yeah.
Irish, German, Italian, Welsh, England, they have that culture because they can trace it back. We can't. So don't get mad when they dancing. They just showing you love.
What about our society now? I mean, they're kind of grouping whites into that, right? You just say white.
Yeah.
I mean, there that's kind of grouping everybody into a group as well.
They even got Asian people that's fitting in Asian Hispanics fitting in white. Always wondered why the population was so high up, but they include Asians,
Yeah.
they include Hispanics and white. So yeah, the population of
Well, you
white
got to
does seem
remember
higher.
they actually separate Hispanics. There's actually black Hispanic and white Hispanic.
Now that I didn't know.
Yeah. And you'll have like if you're Spaniard, you're white Hispanic. But, if you're from the islands, have Puerto Rican blood and a lot of that it stems from the Afro the slave trade and things like that. So
Yeah,
we're considered black Hispanic. So there is actually a split between the Hispanics of black Hispanic, white Hispanic. I mean, you can go down the whole
like a
rabbit.
light skinned and dark skinned brother fighting in the bar.
Well, I mean, you can go down of Hispanic, from Hispaniola. Is that a Spaniard? And someone from Mexico, are they really Hispanic? No, they're South American. We kind of get grouped into one group as well. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think that we a lot of times in America need to stop separating ourselves, and we need to say we're American.
You know what term I hate, and after this we're gonna wrap it up. I hate the term. See, I hate racism because why is there racism when there's only one race?
Yeah, there was a good saying that said, if you ever can find like someone that specializes in DNA and like some of those things, and you ask them to identify the differences of race and from a molecular level,
Hmm.
you really can't find it.
You can't. So like, stop,
Yeah,
stop. It's
yeah.
it's enough, man. It's enough. And
It's just we want to always separate each other, and we just need to look past it. I think I'm in a point in my life that I look past. You know, it- I probably gonna get slack for this, but it's like I look past color, right?
yeah,
But now the biggest thing is, oh, don't look past color. You embrace the color. No, I look at people as an individual, and I am not going to bend a knee to no embrace color. No, I look at people as what is in here, what's up here, and I really couldn't care about anything else.
my dad and mom are from Alabama, a little small town called Gaston, Alabama, and they grew up in the 50s and 60s. And my mom was sprayed with a water hose from the firemen, beaten by police,
Yeah.
all that stuff. They went through all that stuff on the you see in the march to see that stuff. And they could have raised me a whole lot different than they did. But my
Hmm.
dad, never forget my dad telling me this. He said, "Never judge a man by his color, judge him by his character." Those are
Absolutely.
my dad's exact words to me when I was like 10 years old, and it stuck with me.
Hmm.
And that's how I live my life.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
treat me fairly, I'm gonna treat you fairly, no matter what color you are.
Yeah.
So that's how I should go. Just be a good person, man, overall. And that's it.
Yeah.
The rest take care of itself.
And I hope as a society, even in sports, even in just regular society, I hope that something that catches on and we all become a better society because of it.
The world will be better for it, man. All
Yeah.
right. That is about it for us this week. Scott, you missed a great show. You bum. Hope you feel better. Lewis, as always, man, thanks for stepping in. Appreciate you. Thanks for producing the show for us.
Yeah.
Again, he's the gears behind everything, man. So we appreciate you. Um, Anything else closing it out? Or are we good?
Yeah, just follow us, apl.ink/HTS. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're just about on everything. Share, let's get the word out there. And hey, guys, join us. Join us on these live venues where you can interact with us. When we're small enough that you got questions, shoot us a question. You have a new topic you want to talk about, bring it on in, and I'm sure TJ and Scott will have a great conversation. Be part of the
Absolutely.
conversation.
Hit us up. All right. For Lewis and I'm TJ and Scott. Hope you feel better. We'll see you next week on Hill Talk Sports. We're out.
See ya.